Let's go!
Let's go!
And that is the common thing that we say on the set with our director and our newest guest for the podcast, Direk, Dominic.
Yeah, let's go!
Let's go! Let's go!
Direk, thank you so much for coming on here on the podcast.
Thank you,
Super
Direk.
happy to
Oh,
have
thank you guys. Thanks for welcoming me into your home.
Yeah.
Did I mention that? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
studio.
of course.
This is the actual home.
Yes. Also because we do a lot of our content at home and after doing the first 2 episodes, we just found it right na, sige, gawin natin sa bahay. Because from Royal Blood, and even though we've worked with you in the past, Direk, we really feel that Royal Blood has become family. And syempre, when we invite family over, it's a different feeling talaga that we have you here. Parang fun na fun.
Yes, thank you.
I love it.
Yeah, and I guess we just literally finished Royal Blood, aired 24 hours
Yeah.
ago.
Yes.
Direk, actually, I'm curious. We don't get to, you were super busy hosting the cast party. So I'm curious, ano yung feelings mo? Like, is there a high that you take with us? Kasi for me and Bones, reading the comments, getting, all the congratulations from all the bosses, yung mga kasama natin last night. Nakakabusog ng puso, sa totoo lang. Sarap talaga. Diba? We're on a high.
For you guys.
How are you feeling?
I've been feeling this early on. I've always been like this, and I don't want to sound like I'm such a nice guy or anything. I've always felt guilty na parang director tapos you see the comments and then palagi yung director yung binabanggit. And parang I'm taking so much credit for stuff that wasn't really done by one person. News and guys, hindi kasi ganun yung pagpapatakbo sa television. It's really a team of about over 100 persons na yung isa lang ang hindi gumana doon. It falls apart. For example, kung yung ating portalet hindi gumana, hindi na itayo yung tent. Nung maybe 3 or 5 guys ng portalet, tent guys, problema na kagad yun. Meron na kagad tayo. And then,
May delay.
madidelay ka na. Tapos, may buwisit na. Nabuwisit siguro yung artista. Nabuwisit siguro yung EP. Nagkakaroon ng ganong mga bagay. And then, it's not quite the same anymore.
Yeah.
Dahil someone screwed up. But because everyone was doing their best and everyone was just so reliable, kaya ganun kinalabas yung show. Kaya every time may napupuri yung director na off ako. Kasi parang, I don't know if you noticed last night, I didn't want to stay in front as much unless yung nagpa-raffle na.
Yeah.
Pero lalo na when I made sure na-recognize yung writers natin, sila RJ, I really stepped aside like, don't look at me. Don't let me distract you from the real heroes. So, and I kept on saying kasi there was going to be enough space.
Yes.
Pero I wanted to make sure na yung staff was credited, our post-production team was credited. I feel for the post team kasi I used to be an editor. I was an editor for a very long time. I did musical scoring as well for a very long time. I did Cargen. I don't know if you still call it Cargen.
What's a cartoon?
Character generator.
Okay.
Nakita mo yun dun sa mga VO scripts mo.
Yeah.
Talaga naka-Cargen.
Yeah.
So character generated on screen.
Yeah.
I used to do that as well. Parang one-man team kasi ako dati sa gano'n. And guys, kapag binigyan kayo ng ganun task, kahit hindi yun yung dream nyo,
Learn it.
hindi, parang malaki matutulong sa iyo nun. Kung ano man yung pinangarap mo, magagamit mo siya, promise. If I was not an editor, I'd be so much slower shooting because I wouldn't know how to piece it together.
Yeah.
But because I didn't only get to do that, but I embraced it, it also helped na wala naman akong pangarap noon. So whatever the job was,
Go lang na.
go lang, kailangan ko lang ng trabaho. So ayun, of course I digress because I always do.
Yes,
pero
yes. But we love you. That's why we want you here today.
So that's how I felt. I felt like, tonight it has to be for them because this is the last chance for me to make them feel they're appreciated. So I wanted to make sure that I made them feel appreciated, and I made the right people who were there last night appreciate them.
Yes.
Of course, it's only instances like this, like in an interview, where the audience gets to appreciate the whole team and not just the director, not just the writer, not just the actors, because there are just so many moving parts when you do a TV show or a movie.
Yes.
Imagine I saw your rooms and you have a lot of keyboards. If that's and every key, like if that key doesn't work, that
Yeah.
keyboard is messed up. You can't
Yep.
work. You can't work with that keyboard anymore.
Exactly. And
So ganun lang.
and that's actually one of the things that I would say, I don't know if I'm speaking for you, but I mean, one of the things that we really picked up from you, Direk, in terms of work ethic was appreciation for everyone. Appreciation from everyone in the team. Doesn't matter what your role is. Everyone is a team player. And yun nga, if one person falls off the boat, then everything just falls apart eventually. So when we first worked together in Marimar, I know that one of the things that you told me was be a leader and be a good example. And we always talked about being a good example to the people around us because the energy feeds off.
Yeah.
Like you feed off everybody's energy eventually. And if one person is BV or bad vibes, parang sumusunod yung iba eh.
Right. There are times na darating ako sa set masama pakiramdam. But I'll freaking fake it. Before I get out of the car.
May ano na
Internalize
muna.
Pagbukas ako, hey guys, yeah!
Going!
And I know I couldn't fake that all day.
Yeah.
But I knew if I came up with some energy, the energy is gonna come back.
Yes.
So pagbalik sa akin, that will make me feel better.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm when you know me on the set, my energy ako.
Yes.
But deep inside, parang there are things that I'm about. Wait, this isn't about me. This is about the show or my work. Pero I'll just tell you where I'm coming from.
Okay, of course.
Kasi baka makatulong rin sa inyo. Kasi my mom, who's my hero, was my hero. Oh no, she's still my hero even if she's gone. My mom kasi, she plays the piano, pero hindi siya bida. She's not a soloist, even if she could. Because she likes akumpanyahan kita. Ang trabaho ng nanay ko, pagandahin kayo. Kakanta ka, pagandahin ko. Mahina boses, mahina ako ng konti. Nahuhuli ka, papagalan ko ng konti, tapos I'll guide you back. And so my mom essentially is a team player.
Yeah, she's the support.
Yeah, okay sa kanya yun.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people on the set are team players.
Yes.
And if I don't appreciate them, I feel like I'm not appreciating my mom. Or people who are like my mom. So gusto ko, that's why I'm big on that, yung showing appreciation for other people. Because I feel like I'm doing my mom a disservice if I'm not that kind of person.
And that mindset also helped me become a better person. Because I guess like when I started, I also told this to RJ in our talk kanina. When I started, sobrang superficial talaga ng pagpasok ko sa showbiz. I wanted it because I was young and I thought, oh, it's so fun and glamorous and whatever. And I didn't even have the consciousness to think about everyone else. Kasi selfish eh. Siyempre, as in that environment, you're like, yeah, this is about me. Me. But then when I slowly got to work with different people and you being a key player in that also, parang it made me see a different side of things that I otherwise would not have noticed. And I hated myself for that for the longest time, just thinking about, bakit ako ganun tao? Bakit ganun yung iniisip ko? But being able to have that appreciation for our work and the people in our job brings so much, I guess, satisfaction to the kind of work that we do also.
But don't beat yourself up. You probably think that way, but it's also a lot of people who are just starting out. Also are overwhelmed with all the moving parts. And wala pa ring muscle memory sa kanila, yung not only the lines, but like working.
Yeah.
Meron kasi, kailangan mo ng konting muscle memory so that you can focus on other things.
Yeah.
Now, because you're overly focusing on the job that you need to do, hindi mo na siguro masyado naiisip yung may ibang tao. That's why I try to guide the younger ones we have on set. Because of course, sila parang, oh shit, it's overwhelming. Kita mo like last night, si Archie, si Aidan,
Yeah.
was just talking to Rian the whole time and trying to pick her brains and parang gusto niya magpa-mentor to some extent. Or syempre baka na-attract pa rin siya sa ginagamit
Ang ganda
ng
ni Rian
excuse.
Ramos eh.
And then, pero parang alam mong marami pa siyang kailangan matutunan, feeling niya marami pa siyang kailangan matutunan, he can't really focus on other things. So that, kaya yung siguro trabaho natin,
Yes.
bilang nandun, just a bit of a reminder na, ilalagay lang natin siyang konti. Habang ginagawa mo yan, bear in mind na ganito you be nice to people
Yes.
on the set, because if there's one thing I learned in life, dude, maraming magaling. Maraming magaling na direktor. Maraming magaling na artista. Pero narinig ko rin sa casting yan. Wag, sakit ng ulo yan. Sige nyo na lang. Kasi all things equal.
Yes.
If you're not so full of yourself, you realize na marami rin magaling kasi galing ko siguro. Baka nga mas magaling pa sa akin. Pero I'll probably land the job if I was nicer than these people.
Yeah.
Especially in a network like ours. Na
Being nice goes a long way.
being nice goes a long way. Because I know that too. I mean, ako rin naman. Sino ba naman gusto makipagtrabaho dun sa hindi nice? At siyang hirap talaga to be not, if you're nice, if you fall, tutulungan ka pa ng tao.
Yeah. And also, it's just the general vibe, to be honest. Because I feel like in Royal Blood, and I'm circling back to Royal Blood because, of course,
That's our most recent
experience together. Everyone was so great to work with. And
Sarap, no?
ang
It's a
sarap
nice
sa
culture on
feeling.
set.
Yes.
Yeah. And I felt excited. I didn't think about, late nights or yung pagod ko. Hindi ko man lang naisip.
Nararamdaman mo na
I
lang,
would
pero
feel it
hindi
in
mo
my body.
iniisip.
Hindi ko iniisip. Unlike before na, if there was something na maybe I wasn't so happy with or as fulfilled with, iniisip ko agad, ay, pagod ako. Ay, ayoko na. Uwi na ako. I wouldn't think about the other factors. Pero ito talaga, tara, let's go. Let's do the work.
There's something I do want to share about that, though, Bones. So, Direk, I don't know if you noticed, but we told RJ, Reg, and Lilibet, I said, the work is great. We're so happy that the project was received well by the audience. But the thing is, for me and Bones coming into it, yes, we'll give our all. Yes, we'll work hard. We'll prepare as we should. But one thing we talked about and that we want to continue all the time is when we get on the set, we want to make sure everyone's happy. We want those vibes. That's why when you said, you're in your car, you internalize, pero paglabas mo, diba? Give off that good energy. But sa totoo lang, I have to say, if I'm being honest, where I got that trait of, trying to give off this infectious good energy, I would have to say a part of that was influenced by you and my time with you.
Hey, thanks.
Really, so we've, like I said, kanina before we started, we've been together in My Beloved, small family, Poor Señorita, so this is technically our fourth project together. And I always try to learn from people whom I work with, and easily, I can credit that part of me to you, being infectious and wanting everybody on the set and everybody in any workplace I get into to have a
GB.
good time.
GB.
So I appreciate that.
Hey, thanks, bro.
Thank you, Direk.
Kasi it just works.
Siyempre nahiya ako.
It just works. No, it just...
Hindi lang, Direk.
No, diba? Pero Direk, I wanted you
embrace na lang.
I wanted you to
Embrace
hear that kasi syempre, I mean,
We don't get
you're
to
more
talk about
seasoned,
it.
you're more seasoned than us. Obviously, you're older and more experienced, and you're very influential. And I want you to know na parang, diba, that pace itself forward to the people who
Yeah.
you work with.
And you
That's
pay it
something we
forward
would
to
like
us.
to do.
Yay!
And we do it also to the
Yay.
Aidan. We
Aidan.
really tell them na parang, dude,
Yeah.
you guys are amazing. So
Yeah.
I told Aidan and I told James and Princess, I was like, if you guys need anything, you guys need help doing your TikTok, you guys just need someone to talk to, you call me anytime. I don't
Yeah.
care if I don't answer, I'll call you when I wake up.
Right.
Yeah.
Pero even if they never take that up, the mere fact that I told them, I think that if I had heard that at their age, it would mean so much.
Yeah.
Just to have that support system
I
and
totally
knowing the
get
people you work with, supportado ka.
I totally get you kasi I do that also Ayoko kasing pinagmamalaki ito pinagsasabi. Pero like some directors, younger directors, well, most of them are younger than me now, in GMA. When I see good work, and I don't even know them yet, I
Yeah.
try to track down their numbers. And I give them a call, sabihin ko direct. Kasi I can imagine like, di ba sometimes when you're young, you're double guessing yourself.
Yeah.
Okay ba yung ginagawa ko?
Parang you're second guessing.
Yeah, so I reinforce it. Tatawan, direct ako si Dominic, direct Dominic tawag nila sa akin. Ang ganda ko na ng work, or message ko, ang ganda po ng work niyo. Kita ko, ang ganda ng aesthetic niyo, ganyan. Keep it up. And I really mean that. Because, hindi na una. Kung natatakot ako, kung tatanga-tanga ako, natatakot na maagawan akong trabaho. Dominic, kaya bang gawin lahat ng show? Yung dalawa nga lang na pagsasabay mo, hindi ka na magkaugaga. Okay lang, we can share this. Pangalawa, I shouldn't really just be, it's small time to think about projects. I think the right way to think is protecting and uplifting an industry.
Mhm.
So we need a lot of good people, whether
Great
directors, actors. Kasi kahit gaano ka kahusay, kung bigyan kitang ka-excel mo ang pangit. Wala naman magsasabing walang kwenta yung ang ganda nung ginawa mo. Wala. Ang pinag-uusapan, ang ganda ng eksena. I was so moved.
Yeah.
So kahit gaano ka kahusay, kung walang husay yung ka-eksena mo, wala rin mangyayari.
True.
So, obligasyon na rin natin yun to make everyone in the industry better, though in any way we can.
Actually, sabay-sabay dapat umaangat. Di ba? Yun naman talaga
Yeah.
yung gusto natin. Instead of,
Mm.
I should be better than this person, or parang may competition pa. But I really felt that with our set. Everyone was working towards
Sayang.
making
Sayang.
everyone better.
What a lovely, lovely experience. So fulfilling.
Sabi ko nga kay
Creatively, and with our time, kasi we invest so much time.
Oo.
So, not all time is made equal. There are some times in our lives that are better than others.
Yeah.
And this was just objectively a
Better.
better time than others.
Sabi ko nga kay RJ, sana lahat ng tao may experience yung ganung klase.
Yes.
Culture, yung ganung set, yung ganung samahan, yung ganung feedback, yung napaka-genuine ng mga tao.
Yes.
Um, Siguro kasi sa simula talaga, yung hindi pa sakay doon, ayokong gamitin yung word pero baka iba doon pa-plastic yan sa simula. And that's fine with me. Basta ginagawa mo.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Tapos, and then you get used to that, and you get accustomed to be just nice, and then, yun na rin yung
It
muscle.
becomes
na yun.
real. It becomes real.
It becomes
Yeah.
real. So, ganun lang, di ba? Make it a better place.
Oo naman. And,
Mabigat yung trabaho,
Oo.
tapos pabibigatin mo pa ba?
si Direk nga yung wala nga siyang cut-off, di ba?
Walang cut-off.
Walang cut-off. Siya yung nandun. Ba't kayo magre-reklamo?
Last man standing yun.
Kung laging last pong si Direk.
Oo.
Huwag kayong magre-reklamo. Siya ang laging last.
Oo. Kaya pag naririnig yung artista, ilan na lang ako?
Ay, nako!
Hindi naman ako naiinis. Pero ako kasi hindi ko iniisip kung kung ilan pa ba ako.
Yeah.
Go lang ng go.
Go ka lang.
Go lang ng go. Kasi kapag nagaganon ako, parang yan eh.
You're
Pwede ba ito sa
anticipating.
podcast nyo? Alam niyo yung kapag yung nadjejibs ka, tapos sa kotse ka pa,
Pwede yan, Direk.
Pwede.
parang, nadjibs ka na, o naiihi ka na, shit, hindi ko na. Kaya pa. Pero kapag kunwari pumasok ka na dito sa building, pumasok ka na sa condo, tapos bakit, shit. Kapag nakikita mo yung ending, lalo parang hindi mo na kinakaya, di ba?
Pag alam mo nang may countdown, parang bumabagal na talaga. Or mas humihirap.
Parang nararamdaman mo yung hirap. So baka kapag ganun, pag kumount down na, okay, ilang eksena lang, 5 na lang, shit. Gusto ko naman tapos, tapos nasisira tuloy yung diskarte mo kasi iniisip mo na yung ganun. Whereas, yung diskarte ko talaga kasi kahit sa buhay, piece by piece ko
Yes. You're just doing it.
chichibugin yan. O nga pala dun sa inyo, mga aspiring filmmakers, eventually magkakaroon kayo ng ng eksena na malalaki. And then you get overwhelmed. And I always say this, pag binigyan ka naman ng malaking steak, dali pa sa isipin ng malaking steak. Bigyan mo ako aeroplano. Sabihin mo, direct kainin mo yung aeroplano. Kakainin ko yan. Makakain ko yan. Pero huwag mo sa akin pakain na isang buo. Ipira-piraso ko yung ganun. Pero mauubos ko yan.
Gets.
So probably take time. Pero that's how I look at it. So kapag binigyan ka ng malang eksena, masyado isipin, himay-himayin mo yung eksena. Tapos sabi, ito muna gagawin ko, ito. Tapos buo ko na yun, ganyan. By the time you're done sa mga sa mga bite-sized pieces na yun,
May
nakain mo niya. Nakain mo.
It's great because I'm thinking about the scene, yung car scene chase namin ni Christoph, na mahuhulog na si Diana.
Yeah.
And we only shot a couple of parts of that scene kasi may body double kami talaga for
talaga, hindi naman
that.
pwedeng gawin.
Oo, kasi hindi naman kami professionals na ganyan. And hindi namin alam yung mga drone shots na ginawa nyo, hindi namin alam yung mga daya na mga body double. And even from, down to the edit of it, hindi namin na-visualize because we only thought, okay.
We only shot the scenes that we
Ito
knew.
yung sa amin. So we were the puzzle pieces, a part of the bigger picture. And when we finally watched it, we saw the airplane. We saw the big scene and we're like, wow, that's how Direk put it together.
Okay, full disclosure, I wasn't happy with that kasi there were a lot of shots that I wanted.
Okay.
I knew
Okay, take us through that,
Please,
Direk. Like, I'm so curious. So we saw it, of course, as just a viewer. We were happy. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
We thought it was beautiful.
Interesting
I'd love to
kasi
see
we had an action summit sa GMA. We call it an action summit kasi we try to involve the writers para makita lang nila what it takes to mount an action scene. Tapos sabi nila, I didn't know what to discuss because they were actually very vague.
Yeah.
Parang, how do we do it? Sabi ko, sige. So it was exactly that scene that I broke down for them.
Mhm.
Okay, so when I read the script, ito yung kailangan ko. Sasabihin ko dyan yung requirements, and this is how I will shoot it. Okay, so while we are shooting our scenes with the actors and with our big cameras, yung drone pwede na lumabas. Kasi iniisip ko na rin, kailangan yung time and motion and ganyan. Para ma-optimize yung buong araw. Para ma-maximize yung time with you guys. So may na-shoot na doon with a vehicle, tapos may na-shoot pa ako mga eksena na in an ideal setup na baka dalawa yung picture vehicle. And then alam ko, okay, so kumuha ko ng drone shots, kukuha ko ng side shot ng drone because kapag nag-side shot, it looks faster as opposed to like a frontal or ganun. Tapos, okay, I need a shot of Ding Dong. Tapos, okay, kapag sinushoot ko na si Ding Dong, I can use the camera with a gimbal. Para nagagamit ko pa rin yung cameras ko naman shooting another scene. Tapos pag nagsimulang umulan. Kaya nabawasan ako ng shots kasi nagsimulang umulan. I really wanted a lot more shots. So, napag-usapan namin ni Direk Ralph, our fight director, our stunt director, alam natin, biglang nag-veer off the street. Ang pagkakasulat ng tumama sa puno.
Yeah.
Sumot sa isang construction site. Para kahit umuulan, pwede kong i-shoot.
Yun yung mga daya na
ginagawa. So, pumasok doon, so parang okay. Visually nga, mas naging rich.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kasi nagkaroon ng texture. Tapos,
and ang ganda ng mga puddles, Direk.
may mga puddles. Tapos you just work on the set with that.
Nice.
And then, pati mga camera na yun, tutulungan ka nun kapag if everyone's just passionate, like you were saying, everyone's just passionate on the set, bibigyan ka rin ng mga angles nyo ngayon. Because not only are they passionate, but it's also key that you empower them, that you trust their creative eye.
Yeah.
Kung cameraman man sila, yung diskarte nila, bigay mo sa kanila yun. I like getting suggestions from everyone on set because it pati sa inyo, pag may diskarte kayo, you probably don't realize it, but nagkakaroon ka ng kapag sinunod ko yung suggestion, kakaroon ka unti-unti ng sense of ownership.
Yeah.
So kapag may sense of ownership ka na sa project, whatever your responsibility or your job is, napapamahal lalo sa yung show. Kasi it's no longer, sabi ni Direk, gawin ko to eh. Pag uwi mo, sabi mo, anak, alam mo ba, yung shot na yan, si daddy nakaisip yung shot na yan. So mas mahal mo na yung show. Meron ka ng, mas invested na, ownership ka na. Invested ka na dun sa show. Kaya kapag the next time nagtrabaho kayo ulit, iba na yung energy mo na nilalagay.
Yes.
I would like to double down on that lang and second that motion because coming into this, I was trying to think of what are the moments that I really enjoyed working with Direk Dong. And one thing that stands out is your ability, Direk, to build trust with the actor. So I'm also not sure if this is just you being yourself or if it's always intentional, but we do suggest from time to time when we're doing scenes.
Yeah.
You always acknowledge.
Iba-iba naman kayo.
Yeah.
Ikaw, alam ko, gusto mo you're very collaborative. And I'll be collaborative with you also. I know you have, Direk, palagi mo ba ganito, palagi ganyan? Ikaw matanong ka eh.
True. Okay.
Tapos, and okay sa akin lahat yun eh. Kasi
We're all different.
you're all different. Tapos, kung yun dun ka komportable, I'll work with you on that. Yung iba naman parang, kailangan mo sa kanilang sabihin. May ganun din. Tapos pag sabihin mo naman, okay, I'll work with that and ganyan. So,
And then they'll tweak it a bit.
kaya ako, I really talk to you guys kasi gusto ko kayong makilala para makita ko rin yung what you're comfortable with, ganyan.
And I appreciate that. Like,
Yeah,
I was just about to say na parang those small moments, they really build trust. And that trust breeds creativity. And it just makes the whole creative process over time that much richer, that much more fulfilling. And just to add another small nuance, but I think great in terms of magnitude and effect. After the scenes, you come over, you're very busy, you're thinking about your next scene already, and you're like, great job. And I see you do that with the others. Kahit kay Lian, she does a great scene. I mean, may hirit ka, not like indirect praise. But those
medyo
things,
backhanded.
but those things, they add up.
Yeah.
And maybe, I don't know if the others realize it. Maybe they don't realize it. But it affects everyone.
Yeah.
And it just breeds that trust to create
And
more, and to
builds-
collaborate more.
Builds the confidence also.
And builds confidence. So just so many
Alam mo,
positives.
nakakaganda ang confidence. Nakakagwapo, nakakaganda. When you're so sure of what you're doing. Kaya dami nagagupuan sa akin.
Yan tayo.
Yan tayo.
Pero, minsan, ang default ko is bibigay ko ng konti tapos hahayaan ko, diskartehan ka.
Yeah.
Kasi isa pa minsan naman, ako naman, na-enjoy ko kapag nagdidirect ako. Gusto ko minsan magulat. Kasi parang,
I was gonna ask.
gusto ko parang,
Okay.
diskarte mo. Tapos nagiging ako, so it becomes so spontaneous for me. Parang, kaya minsan meron akong notes if hindi masyadong detail. Pero sa phone ko, meron akong nakalagay dyan, sabihin mo kay Christoph, huwag siya masyadong ganyan. Kita siya, huwag ka masyadong forceful. At this point, kailangan naawa sa yung audience. So, per sequence yan nakalagay na meron akong mga maliliit na notes. Pero minsan, I hold back. Kasi tignan ko kung ano
yung gagawin.
Kung ano yung didiskartehan mo. Parang, pag feeling ko may diskarte itong artista na to, tapos gusto kong magulat sa eksena na to, I wanna be an audience.
Yes. And
I was going to ask.
I know.
We were discussing that. I was like, I really wanted to ask Direk this. I wonder how often is it that, he is surprised.
Yeah.
He's watching, syempre, he envisions a scene, but syempre, he doesn't spoon feed us actors.
Yes.
Diba? He allows us to really just
To grow.
explore.
Yeah.
So I'm so
Interesting kayo.
curious, how often is it that you're like, uy, okay, yan, as opposed to Direk just, sticking to his vision and how he imagines the scene. Does that happen often?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kung if yung ma-surprise ako, siguro in a day, siguro we shoot about 25. That happens siguro mga
Once? Twice?
no, mga 3 to 5
Wow.
sequences.
In Royal Blood, that's what happened.
In Royal Blood, mga ganyan. Tapos minsan kasi, especially yung medyo, yung dynamics, kapag yung malaki kayo, yung ensemble.
Big scenes.
Oo. Ensemble performance,
Yeah.
those big scenes na marami kayo talaga. And kasi, yung big scenes kasi, you could translate that big scene kasi merong car chase, may ganun malaking action scene. But what people don't realize is when everyone is on set,
Oh.
that's a big scene. That's hard.
Kahit na nag-uusap-usap
Kahit
lang.
nag-uusap-usap lang because everyone is nuanced. You have to capture all of that. And then, doon medyo magugulat ako doon kasi, oh shit, oo nga. Maganda yung ginawa niya ron. Maganda yun. Uy.
Is there any scene that stands out or that comes to mind first? I mean, I'm sure we've had so many wonderful scenes in Royal Blood. Is there one that comes to mind in terms of that? That was quite nice. That was quite a surprise.
Hindi dahil show mo to, pero tsaka medyo recent rin kasi. Yung umiyak ka dun sa ilalim ng araw.
Oh, yeah.
Kasi bilad na bilad kayo sa araw na I'm sure that really like messes up with your concentration.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Mahirap. Ikaw, sakit na yung paa mo.
Si Rian, na-sunburn na yung buong katawan.
I felt like my skin was peeling off. Ganun talaga yung katirik nung araw. And we were telling RJ how we were unsure about that scene because,
Talaga?
well, one,
We were super unsure about that scene.
yeah, because ang sakit ng katawan namin dahil dun sa araw. Pangalawa, you know how sensitive I am to sunlight. Marimar days pa lang.
Yeah,
Ang sakit sa mata ko. So, in
Hindi
that,
ka makadilat
hindi
nun.
ako makadilat nun eh. Lalo pa noon. But for this scene, I was like, how can I show that I'm angry, but then I also have that shock factor from Christoph revealing about my money stealing from the family. And then how do I confront him and become a different Diana while the sun is directly in my eyes? So, we were both really unsure. Plus, wala pa tayong preview. We can't preview the scenes afterwards
Yeah.
right away because of our new system setup. So, we're like, sige, let's go! Let's do
Yeah,
it!
yeah.
Kahit na
Tiwala na lang kay
Tiwala
Direk.
na.
Actually, direct, sakto tong phrase na to. Trust the process na kami at that point.
Yeah.
Kasi at that point, that was like our second to the last week already. We knew our characters very well. So when we went through the script and we were reading and trying to memorize the lines, we knew the emotional trajectory na. It's just that, are we going to be able to overcome
the elements.
the physical elements that were there? That was the only thing. And, you know, to a certain extent, it's crafted. There's a lot of artistry
Yes.
involved, which means nothing is guaranteed. And you also, you don't, it's very organic. You don't know how things are going to evolve and unfold. So we said, Bones, we know what we have to do. We know our lines. Let's just do it the best way that we can, and we live with the result.
Yeah.
Nakatrabaho ko rin naman sabihin sa iyo para mali.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And we told each other that, and we reassured each other na pag may mali, Direk will tell us. And we trusted you in that way na hindi, sasabihin niya talaga pag pangit.
Oo. To think na dinadaya pa natin na wala si Dingdong.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
Oo nga eh. Kasi may sakit siya nung time na yun.
Oh my God, I have to share this with Direk again. Okay, I'm going back to trust, and you say na, I'll let you know pag feeling ko hindi siya okay. And it's one thing to say that, it's another thing for an actor to trust.
Yeah.
Sa totoo lang. Coming from a personal side, like, maybe
Yeah,
the
di ko alam
director,
din.
maybe the director is saying that para kasi kailangan na talaga natin mag-move on. Which I'm sure there's still an element, pero of course as an actor, you're always second guessing which was it more? Was it more na di okay lang talaga? Or was it more no, we have to move on and palpak ako?
Oh, I have an example. I don't know if you remember, we had our flashback scene with Napoy. It was one of the first few taping days, and I was vulnerable with Napoy. And I said, let's go away. Tayo na lang, bahala, tayo na lang. I had to be vulnerable as Diana. But I felt like I didn't hit my markers. And then afterwards, I told Miss Ruth, our coach, Miss Ruth, parang
Markers sa blocking?
Markers sa
Emotional
emotional
beats
beats
mo.
mo. I said, I felt bad because I felt na, should I have said na I wanted another take as an actor? And I'm also thinking, baka may schedule silang sinusunod. I don't want to be like a cause of delay for anyone. So hearing that from like an actor, how do you feel about these things? Because there's a lot to consider.
Yeah.
Time, energy.
Kapag hindi ka happy sa scene.
Yeah, like as an actor, should I?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Pwede ka magsabi. Si Dong rin naman minsan sasabihin niya. Tapos I'm like, okay lang. Sige, sabihin ka yung totoong process. Pag panoorin ko, okay. Gusto ko kasi uuwi ka na happy yung trabaho. Pero, ano ba yung sunod ko? Gusto ko kasi na yung sakto. Tatlo yan, pero gusto ko, depende, no? Pag ako, kasi dahil editor din ako, parang tatayo na to eksena na to.
Okay.
Kung tatayo na yung eksena, igugod ko na. Sasabihin ko naman sa inyo kapag it's super subpar.
Yeah.
Tapos, tinatansya ko rin yung kasama rin kasi sa amin yung I think a big part of the director's work is human behavior. So feeling ko ba, is he the type who will feel bad and masisira na yung araw niya? Dahil artists rin kayo.
Okay.
Na parang,
The real actors,
Oo.
the actors behind the character, yeah.
na parang kapag hindi ba kita pagbigyan ng gusto mo pa na isa pang take, sisira ba araw mo?
Maapektuhan mo yung future scenes mo
Okay.
after na.
Okay.
Parang, ikaw lang, mawawala ka na ba sa mood?
Yeah.
Ganong klaseng tao ka ba? O will you trust me well enough? Nagsabi ko, sige, good na yan.
Yeah.
Tapos, iniisip ko rin yung value ng scene na yun.
Yeah.
Um,
Was it that important?
Oo. Importante ba na ma-showcase niya yung ganung klaseng emotion?
Okay.
Or was it really parang gusto lang niya ng more pero okay na yun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay na yun. It's like siguro okay na ako sa iodized salt. Kailangan ba Himalayan salt?
Okay. Yeah, because
May
sometimes...
pagka-indulgent na yun.
Importante ba yung Himalayan salt dito sa eksena na to?
Yes.
Tapos, of course, meron yung may practical side rin because
Daming eksena pa.
marami pang eksena tapos hindi ko pera to Pera to ng network. Kailangan kong ubusin. Tapos iniisip ko rin bukas pa kapag ikaroon ko to. May madadrop ako kapag ikunan ko pa to. So lahat yun medyo tinitimbang muna. Tapos makukuha ko ba sa edit ito? Baka sa edit, baka bitawan ko yung shot sa kanya. Minsan naman parang ganda, hindi ka masaya sa ginawa mo. Masaya yung ginawa. Ang ganda ng ginawa.
Yeah.
Pag ulitin ko, hindi na makaka-capture. Hindi na mauulit yun.
Yes. So, does it work already as it is?
No, okay ba yun? So, ang dami, titimbangin mo yun. That comes with experience.
And because you see the bigger picture also, parang for us, we only see kung ano yung nasa harap namin, kung ano na-feel namin.
Did I do my job right?
So, parang from things down to the edit, syempre hindi na namin naiisip yun because we don't know how it looks, essentially.
Mm-mm.
So, I guess that's just a question I wanted to throw out there because in the beginning of Royal Blood, I was questioning myself about it.
Ako rin naman kasi nung ginagawa ninyo, parang ano ba yung gusto ko sa character ni Diana? How much do I want from her? Like, I know it was our first big scene was that dinner scene. Diba?
Yep.
Yes, that was you.
Well, you were not there.
I wasn't there.
First time nyo na-meet si
Napo.
First time na-meet si Napoy. You weren't there yet. Yung interplay, yung paano ba? Yung proportions ng ingredients dun sa putahe na to.
Yeah.
Ano ba yung tama? Mas maasim ka ba dapat? Ang bigay mo dito, mas maalat ka ba dapat dito? May ganun pa hindi pa natin, lahat tayo medyo nanganganay, di ba?
Nung time
Tapos, basta alam ko maasim character ko, eto, hindi ko alam kung gaano ka-asim. Yung may anghang ba ako ng konti? Direk, ako matamis ako dito. Kailan ba may konting alat yung tamis ko? Ganyan. May asim ba yung tamis ko? Ganyan. Kaya palagay ko kung isa breakdown, hindi ko kaagad ibibigay yung ano.
Yeah.
Pero I think the first time you do a big scene like that with everybody in it, lahat tayo talaga manganganay.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi mo pa alam how the ingredients react to each other.
Although I must say that dinner scene I really enjoyed. Just because the adventure of it. Like seeing how does Margaret react to me, how does Napoy react to everyone, how does
That's a very
react to
good way of
everything.
approaching it. That's how I also approached it. Kasi if you're unsure, it's okay. Because they were also supposed to be unsure. They don't know how to act in front of each other. They don't know how to act in front of Napoy.
Yeah.
It's their first time anyway. So, pupunta lang sila dun sa character nila. Kasi syempre, bago kitang kilala, ito ang character ko. Ako, maangas ako.
Yeah.
Gusto, paangasan lang kita.
Mm-hmm.
May bali lang sa dulo na, okay. Diba, para minanipulate mo lang siya. Tapos, so, it's okay. So, sometimes,
it's all
yeah,
right.
no, laban lang.
No,
laban lang.
Sometimes
It's part of the journey. Take the journey, enjoy.
Exactly.
Just take the ride.
But it's also a side that I feel as a viewer, syempre, hindi mo nakikita yun. Hindi mo nakikita na yung technicalities of directing. Ang naiisip lang ng tao, you're just telling an actor what to do. I mean, blocking, o camera dito. But there's a whole science to it, just like we were saying kanina. There's a science to the acting that we do also. In terms of directing, meron din sa inyo from thinking about the scene to editing to post. I mean, just making
and how it relates to another scene.
Yes.
Yes.
The mathematics and the science of it all.
At saka hindi biro kasi marami sa inyo. Baba ng tingin sa telebisyon. Gumawa na po ako ng mga pelikula. Di naman. papasok pelikula. Pero yung proseso ho, kung ako po tatanungin, mas mahirap po mag-TV. Kasi sa pelikula, kapag nanood sila ng pelikula, may captive market ka na.
Yeah.
Pumasok na sila, nagbayad na sila, nag-invest na sila doon. And you only need to be interesting to them for the next 2 hours. And you're good.
For TV.
The fact that they went out of their homes to go there, alam mo na gusto nilang panoorin yung pelikula. Whereas sa TV, ang iniisip ko as a director, and yun yung sinasabi ko na sa writers, I'm sure that's what they think, even if I don't tell them, yun rin yung iniisip nila. Una, hindi ka pumasok sa sinihan. Pumasok ka sa bahay na ang dami kong kailangan gawin, pero gusto ko sabihin sa audience, huy, panoorin mo ko. Pag binuksan mo yung TV, hindi lang ako yung programa. Hindi ka tulad doon sa sinihan. Baka may 4 na sine
Yes.
o 5. O lagay natin sa 8. Cineplex, meron. 8 sine, pipiliin. Ito, ilan ba yung channels? Tapos ilan ba yung mga streaming?
Yeah.
Pero sinasabi ko sa'yo, panoorin mo ko. Pangalawa, gusto ko, panoorin mo ko habang ginagawa mo yung gagawin mo sa bahay. Habang inalagaan mo yung aso mo. Habang iniisip mo kanyang lulutuin mo. Tapos, iniisip ko, yung pagkakasulat, alam niyo marami sa inyo, gusto niyo laitin lagi yung television. Bakit ganyan masyadong madaldal? Bakit masyadong madrama? Kasi kailangan po madaldal ang television dahil yung mga tao tumatalikod sa TV. Sa sinihan hindi yun, nakatingin po sila doon. Sa TV, tatalikod po sila, kaya kailangan naririnig nila yung nangyayari. So, kunwari, nagluto sila, they do their chores. Tatalikod, lalabas pa nga ng kwarto yun. Tapos lalakasan nila ng konti yung TV. Kailangan nila naririnig. Kaya tayo hirap minsan manood ng K-drama eh. Kasi kailangan mo pang basahin eh.
Yes.
Minsan ayaw nyo rin yung acting ng voice talent kapag English version gusto mo babasahin. Kasi nga, mahal, iba-iba yung experience. So yun, kino-consider din yun sa paggagawa. Tapos, kailangan, pag ginagawa po namin yung mga eksena, it has to end in a high point because even if it's written na merong going to gap, minsan hindi yun yung nagiging natawag natin gap ender, yung going to commercial. It has to be high enough so that after 4 minutes of commercials or so,
they're still there waiting.
Hihintayin ka pa rin nila.
Yeah.
Ang pelikula, wala pong obligasyon na ganun. Hindi nila kailangan isipin. Kasi again, nakaupo lang sila dun sa loob ng sinihan eh.
And they already paid to watch.
They already paid to watch. Meron nang silang
invested na sila.
Yeah.
Ito hindi. Kahit nga invested na sila doon, pag na-distract lang yan, may tumawag lang, may nag-text sa phone nila, wala na. Pagkatapos nun, gagawin ko yun ng 4 na ulit sa isang gabi na para bibitaw ako ng 4 minutes tapos mababalikin kita.
Yeah.
Tapos nun, hihinto pa yan. Tapos matutulog pa sila sa gabi na yon. Tapos kukumbinsihin mo ulit sila the following day.
And it's a whole process that they don't realize.
Yeah.
Na parang the habits that as creatives, we have to think of ways to capture attention.
Yeah, because that's not easy. Every time, nakuhuli mo na sila, okay, commercial. Tapos iaakit ulit kita dun sa level na yon. Tapos we're very conscious of that. Tapos pagdating ng Friday, hindi lang overnight, 2 tulog bago ulitin. Tapos ulitin ko ulit yung process. So yung weekender namin has to be compelling enough so that Monday, babalik ka ulit. Tapos iaakit ko ulit yung emosyon doon para sa'yo. Tapos we're going to do this all over again. That's not an easy task. So next time na gusto po ninyong i-bash yung TV, sige, bash nyo lang.
Basta we'll do our job.
Basta we'll do our job.
Basta
Laging may mga bashers.
Libre naman television.
Yeah, and honestly,
Pero marami rin nagmamahal. Yun yung
rin
importante.
nagmamahal. Yeah. Marami rin naman nagmamahal. And I'm so thankful for everyone that stayed with us through the gaps, stayed with us after the commercials and over the weekend, and
there were a
continued
lot of
to
them.
watch. There were a lot of royalistas that watched us. But Direk, I'm curious because you already dabbled on it na may mga streaming na tayo. The habits of viewers have changed because of streaming platforms. Where do you see television in the future?
Wow, that's...
and just an additional question to that, para masagot rin ni Direk. Was there any point during this social media craze that you felt the mortality of television and maybe also part of your craft, which is TV?
I still feel it now. I think we're really at a crossroads. sa television. I think television, for a time, I felt that it was parang, it could die.
Okay.
Pero now, I think it's just evolving.
Mm.
Nag-iiba yung platform. Pero, um, as a director, I feel like we're a guardian of this craft. Ito yung minana natin from filmmaking sa mga pelikula noon.
Yes.
So, that's the reason why I would do a movie even if I'll be candid, it would pay less. We know that. It pays
Yeah.
less kung ipo per day mo. I do movies because I owe our television industry to the movie industry that came before us. So natatakot ako na baka turn na ba ng TV na to go the way of movie making in the Philippines. Pero as a guardian, I had to figure out what is it that would make us survive this or evolve along with it.
How do you keep up with the times?
How do we not die?
Yeah.
How do we not die away? So sabi ko, okay. First, I was trying to look at YouTube videos. Subscribe ako to YouTube.
Well, walang ads.
Para makarami ka. I analyze, okay. They do some stuff on YouTube, like even movies on YouTube.
Yeah.
Tapos nung pandemic, nakatulong rin sa akin. Yung realization. Una-una, sige, dun sa YouTube, parang, kailangan yata, kapag gagawa tayong TV show, it's something that they cannot do on YouTube. It's gotta be big.
Yeah. Epic.
O parang we're a cast that they cannot do on other platforms. And then next, na-realize ko rin, nung nag-pandemic, sabi, babalik pa ba sa panonood sa sinihan? Kasi napapanood ko lang.
Yeah.
Netflix ka lagi, HBO Go.
It's on your phone, on your TV.
Yeah, I'm just in my house and you get a big screen TV and you're okay, but why did I watch Top Gun Maverick? Because it's a spectacle. So that's how I'm going to bring back viewers to watching television.
Yes.
Because it's just an experience that they cannot experience on other platforms. It has to be spectacular. Then I'm going to go watch a movie. In our case, then I'm going to go back to watching television. Well, at least Jimmy is kind enough to help you out and put it on YouTube.
Yeah, on Facebook. It's on all these platforms. And meron pa ring TikTok. Actually, there's some people
Oo nga,
who post it in parts.
Sorry, hindi ako mabanggit ng Facebook kasi wala akong Facebook. I don't know.
Sorry, Direk.
I don't know how it works, pero ang alam ko yung YouTube, kaya yung mabanggit ko.
But anyways, may streaming yun. But people post it in parts on TikTok. I know you watch videos on TikTok also.
There was also a learning for me on TikTok.
Oh, how was that pala for you, Direk?
Sorry. Nag-download ako ng app. Wala naman talaga akong account.
Wait, also, side note, si Direk, for the longest time, he didn't have
feature phone siya.
Wala siyang smartphone. And that was a conscious choice from your end.
Conscious. Conscious in a way that I still remember clearly how long it took for me to learn yung sa number pad, tapos magte-text kang gano'n.
Yeah.
Sheesh, ang tagal kong pinag-aralan yun, tapos natapon ko lang yung kaalaman ko na yun. Hindi na ako mag-text ng gano'n.
Smartphone na siya.
Smartphone. Tapos parang, bakit ba ako mag-smartphone? They're also mag-smartphone ka dahil may Facebook. I was still at a point na parang, why do you take pictures of yourself and post it for other people, strangers, to see your pictures? Kaya ako parang, pag may picture ako parang, ay, nakita ko lang ito, sa akin lang to kasi nakakaya. Nakita mo, ba't yung pinapakita yung mukha nyo sa ibang tao? Para sa inyo yung pictures yun, sa pamilya mo ba? I couldn't wrap my head. I couldn't wrap my head around that. So parang, why would I get a smartphone? Until syempre ng pandemic, hindi na ako makapasok sa mga establishments kasi kailangan ng QR code. So I was forced to buy a smartphone. So, bakit na ba tayo napunta doon?
Wala lang, streaming. Tapos naisip
Yeah, you were going to tell us you're learning about TikTok.
You're learning about TikTok.
Okay. So yung TikTok, galing mo. Tanda na ako, nakalimutan mo.
Got you, Direk.
Yung TikTok, sabi ko, ba't niloloko yung mga tao sa TikTok? So pinanood ko siya. Pagnood ko sa TikTok, sabi ko, hey, natawa ka. Tapos kinano, me, sumasayaw si Niana. Fan. Kasi nakikita ko sa
Yes.
YouTube yung magkapatid. And then you see, and after a while, parang ganun ka naman. Oh, sheesh. Hindi lang siya basta maikli.
Yes.
So, maikli, okay. Pero pagpunta mo sunod, wala. So, wala. But you keep on swiping.
Yes.
Keep on swiping with a promise na yung first video, makakuha ko lang ng ganung klase.
Matutuwa ka ng
Matutuwa
ganun
ka ng
ulit.
ganun ulit. Pero ganun, the next thing you know, you've already eaten 30 minutes.
Yep.
Ayun.
Na-realize ko ito ng mga lock-in pa. Nalalock-in taping. Kasi wala ka namang ginagawa. Wala kang ginagawa. Nalalock-in kami na. Nakalock-in kasi kami na parang naka-quarantine ka.
On your off days, you're not doing anything.
Buti nga off days eh. Pero yung una, yung 8 to 10 days kayo naka-lock-in. Mag-isa ka lang doon. Hanggang
Yeah.
baka
Lock-in
mag-positive
before.
ka bigla. Na kailangan sigurado sila hindi ka
Yes.
magpa-positive. So tingin ako, okay, so that's the behavior. First, it's gotta be short. And then, I got this. So I spoke to the writers. I think this is the new thing now. I think we should design our scripts into like mini TikToks. So one sequence is like one TikTok video. What does that mean? That means it should be a little shorter now, but the experience is full.
May arco yung eksena.
Pagkapanood mo parang, uy, natuwa ako doon, or it did something.
Leaves you
Yeah, okay,
wanting
okay.
more.
It did something for me. So I wanna swipe or in television, wait for the next sequence. Tapos pag pinanood ko yung next sequence, I cannot keep on disappointing you.
Yeah.
The way TikTok videos would.
Yeah.
Kung sunod-sunod na magaganda yan, hindi ka talaga bibitaw.
Kailangan mapa-comment sila ng part 2, please. Part 2, please.
Part 2, please.
Saan na part
Sa
2?
swipe mo na ngayon dito,
Yeah.
titignan mo ako. Just watch it. Ay, kasi ka ng TikTok. Sabi ko,
Because you do know, Direk, for a lot of the Gen Zers, they watch our teleserye on TikTok,
Yeah.
not even YouTube.
Actually, nasabi sa akin ng isang trainer sa gym, sabi ko, pinapanood ko sa TikTok. Sa TikTok ba?
Kasi a lot of people repost, and they don't even watch it on the GMA network page.
No,
A
because
lot of people
snippets lang.
repost, and then nakalagay lang dun sa caption, part 1. Tapos hanapin nila yung part 2. And the next thing they know, napanood nila yung buong episode
Yeah.
ng Royal Blood.
Yeah.
And there's a huge chunk of the population who actually consume television shows in that way already.
Parang degustasyon.
Yes.
So it's just, I think it's a lot of evolution of viewing habits. But I guess just going back to you being a guardian of this art form, television, and the industry. Para sa akin, the way I see it, and Monizy might feel the same way as well. I mean, TV, aside from it being entertainment and everything, it's art.
Yeah.
And I think there will always be a room and space for this art to be consumed. Yun nga lang, the channels by which they are consumed by the people, I think that's the one evolving. But I think the art form itself is always going to have so much relatability and significance to people because at the end of the day, it's still the audience relating to the story.
I'm glad you pointed that out. That's why we should think of it as an art as well. We can't just come up with shit.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, for everyone involved.
lahat.
Dapat lahat talaga.
Lahat
Ganun
talaga.
yung nasa isip.
And yun yung kaibahan kasi ng art form natin. Whereas his painting is done by one person. What we do is like a moving mural.
Yeah. So many
Done
people
by
involved.
so many people.
Yeah.
Ang trabaho ko lang naman because everyone on the team is good. Kailangan ko lang na sabihin na siya, sige, gawin niyo, hindi mo, ganun lang.
No, and you've been working with your team for so long already. I mean,
And some of them hindi naman masyado. Like si Zar, I don't
oh yeah, our newest camera woman,
know. We call
Camera
him camera
operator.
operator.
camera operator.
Cam up na mga cam
Cam
up
up.
na sila. Medyo bago-bago. Pero,
And even Leslie, your AD.
yeah, bago-bago.
Yeah.
Actually, ay, nag-actually ako.
Ay!
Parang
Oh,
artista.
Actually,
Oh no!
Parang artista.
it's a word that Direk tries to avoid. And I consciously avoid it now because he
talaga?
pointed it
And
out.
now we got it on camera!
Artista ka naman eh.
I'd like to say, si Lian, napansin ko na, puro siya actually kanina. Lian! Okay, so going back to this.
Ayun, meron ring mga mas bago sa team. Pero how do you say it? You kind of guide them. Parang
Yeah.
ito. But more than anything, gina-guide mo lang talaga sila dun sa yung passion, yung culture na gusto mo na. Passionate, well, ang gusto ko sa teammate na passionate, collaborative, ganyan. Tapos, syempre, good vibes din. Mahirap na yun.
GB lang.
Oo. It all helps out. Gusto yun. Parang, gusto ko sa set natin yung ano eh. Yung ang libog-libog. Ang libog-libog gumawa ng maganda. Parang,
I was thinking, ano yun?
Saan papunta to?
Hindi pa tapos yung sentence.
yung hindi ko pa sinasabi, didiskarte sila ng ibang angulo. Parang, uy, ganda niya. Tapos encourage ko rin, uy,
Yeah.
ganda ang angulo niya. Meron namang times na hindi ko gusto.
And you tell
Which is
them.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. At
Sige,
least they
diskarte
tried
mo.
it.
Tapos pagkatira nila, hindi ko gusto, kuha ko ng insert na parang okay. Alam kong ito gagamitin ko. Pero hindi ko
I-discredit.
hindi ko di-discredit, hindi ko di-discourage.
Yeah.
At saka hindi ko bibigyan ng sitwasyon. Then next time that person feels creative, i-double guess niya yung sarili, mag-hesitate na siya na mag-collaborate.
I like that. I really, really like that. Although, Direk, one thing I did want to say na parang, on set kasi, you're the busiest person on
Yeah.
set. You're one of the busiest people there. We do not get to hang out with you and have these kinds of conversation, which is why I value this time with you. Sa totoo lang, Direk. Like, I was super excited to have this. Kasi, syempre, with sina Lian, Dom,
We're
Rian,
always together.
we're always
in the dressing
together. In between, pag may delay dun sa shot na gagawin, we get to talk and hang out. With you, you always have to be on top of things. Kung may delay, mas lalo ka pa magiging busy because you have to problem solve for whatever came up. So,
Pero kita mo, hindi tayo nakakapag-usap. Tayo yun, Mick. Pero kasi po, sa inyo pong sa viewers nila, si Megan po, nakakaroon kami ng time. Kasi kapag lunch, lumalayo po siya kay Mick. Tapos pupunta po siya dun sa table nila, direct, ng mga cam-op, at saka
Para?
ng AD, at saka ng para kumain siya dun. Kasi alam niyang nag-order kami ng food pag lunch. So, hindi sa kanya sapat po yung lunch na na para sa
Hinihahanda.
pangkalahatan. No? Pupunta siya doon, tapos dala-dala niya, uy, ano yan? Shoot.
Makikichismis.
Makikichismis, tapos makikichismis kunwari. Actually, makikikain yun.
oo.
Titignan niya kung ano yung meron doon.
Tapos aantayin lang niya na sabihin sa kanya ng asawa niya, uy, bakit hindi ka ba mag-o-offer doon? Doon sa last week ng production, doon lang siya magdadala, sasabihin may ambag na siya.
May ambag
Para
na
sa
siya.
kanilang
Kasi si Direk, sinabi ni Direk, pupunta yun dito, tapos wala man lang ambag.
So, buong season gagawin yun ni Megan. Tapos doon sa last week ng production, doon lang siya mag-aambag. Ay, oo nga pala, you guys want something?
Pero bumawi yung mag-asawa sa akin. Bumawi, ang dami ng pinadalang pulburon. Sarap. Yung pulburon ni Mrs. Dias. It's the best.
I'm glad
So far, bubuhayin ulit yun.
Ay, tama.
Ah,
Tama,
May
let's do
vlog.
it. Let's do
May
it.
vlogging ka agad yun.
Pero tama yung direct kasi lagi akong gutom. Ano ba yun? Pero alam ko na, sa next show ko, dapat lagi akong may ambag.
Oo.
Hindi naman lagi may ambag.
Sa timing lang.
Timing.
Wag lang sa last week.
Wag lang sa last week.
Middle,
Wag lang makikain lang.
Mga bandang gitna, medyo lagyan mo na ng konti.
Ano ba yan? Na-expose tuloy ako na feeder talaga ako. Parang sa games, feeder.
Uy, feeder, narinig ko sa FM.
Ay, oo, tama ka, Nizar.
Walang
feeder ka.
ambag.
Oh, but anyway, Direk, what I was going to say, I'm so curious. Okay, on a personal note, when you watch Royal Blood, you watch all of the episodes, obviously. Do you resonate with any of the characters or any of the relationships there? Kasi, I'm so curious. We were never able to ask you this. Kasi, ngayon na natapos na siya, it's a perfect time to ask you because you can look at it, from a bird's eye point of view as a whole. Is there a character or storyline or relationship that you resonate with that affects you on a personal level?
Okay, unti-untiin ko. Para lang samahan niyo ako sa journey ng
Okay,
Tara.
hindi pa ako gumagawa ng television shows or movies. Hindi pa ako nagna-narrative na. Nanonood na ako ng Friends. Nagna-narrative na ako. So, nanonood ng Friends. Tapos lagi yung usapan nun, sino ka sa Friends?
Okay.
Diba? I'm probably a Ross. Nanonood ka ba Friends?
Yes, of course. She does not watch.
Well, I've watched
Pero
Friends.
she's watched a couple of
I've watched-
episodes.
Sino ka sa Friends?
Friends? I'm a reluctant Ross. I'm a reluctant Ross.
Okay. Sige. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
So, ganun ako dati. pag tapos pag may nakita akong sinulat ng isang tao, iniisip ko na, kanino kaya binasa ito? Ganyan. Ganyan ba yung pananaw ng writer na to? And then I grew out of that. I realized, trabaho to eh. Storya to, ba't ko ba kailangan pang isipin na gano'n?
Yeah.
So sa simula, medyo ganun ako. Pero after a while, I just see characters, maybe from people that I know, because I think it's also very self-centered if I start thinking that I'm a bit like this and I'm a bit like that. Pati lumiliit, pati yung nagmumukhang maliit, siguro yung kung sarili ko lang, lumilit yung research.
Yes.
Yung research ko.
Or you're not stepping outside of
Oo,
your
parang
box.
puro sarili ko yung nilis. Maraming ibang uri ng tao. Hindi ako, I'm not everyone. I'm not even, my characters aren't even just, shouldn't always be just people that I know.
Yeah.
It makes it easier if I know someone who's like that. Pero it helps that you read books, watch a lot of movies, kasi wala kang chance na makakilala ng ganong klaseng daming tao.
You get extremes also from getting outside of your comfort zone
Yes,
and reading
so,
different material.
and then stepping outside of your world.
Yes.
Kasi syempre, tayo,
Yes.
puro Pilipino lang tayo. At siguro meron ng limit. At lang, siguro 20 uring to. I guess 50 types of Filipinos.
Yeah.
Pero that's why traveling is also essential. Eh. You go to Japan. So I like soaking up the culture and particularly understanding what Japanese are, what the French are, how different they are from Spaniards, how different they are from yung mga nakatira sa Basque region, gano'n.
The general nuances are all so different. Even just like saying hello, drinking their coffee, smoking a cigarette, maybe using their phone, they're all different.
Yes. So, may insight sa akin yun, so that I could better direct. So, to answer your question, siguro nothing that particularly resonates to me, pero siguro if there was something that kinuha ko sa sarili ko, is probably a messianic complex ni Napoy. Yung parang, kasi may ganun si Napoy eh.
Yes.
I want to help, parang,
Save everyone.
Save everyone.
Kailangan ko magawa lahat to. Binilin sa akin ng tatay ko to eh, so kailangan kong gawin. Ayun, siguro yun. Messianic complex, tapos bilin ng magulang na that you will value because it's a promise you made to your parent.
Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting.
Pwede-
And I can see the connect. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
the way
thinking
we've
about
gotten
it
to
now.
know you and the way you always want to be there for others. We can see that. That's cool. And
Napakatinisa ng man for others. I will be there for others. Kind of like,
yeah, diba? Okay, so I'm curious now. So I really like that we're talking more about like the creative
process.
Yeah, the process. Because you've done so many different shows and we don't get to ask you this also, pero when you're given a concept, and this one of Royal Blood was particularly new, the murder mystery genre. How do you start? Like, how do you start that creative process? Where does your mind go when you say, okay, Direk Dom, this is going to be your project, this is going to be your concept? And the reason why I asked this was because you were so passionate during that StoryCon of how you envisioned. Like, I told Bones, you know why I'm so excited? It's because Direk is so passionate because he has a vision. And it's so fun working with people who have a vision. Kasi invested and motivated sila. But I'm curious, when you get that concept for the very first time, where do you go? Where does that mind? What do you think of first? It's very different also when we get characters. Now, just to share, when we get characters, there are certain things that we go to first. When like, oh, this is a new character. So for you, Direk, I'm curious.
baka pareho tayo siguro. Feeling ko you know you have to really open your palate. Pagbukas talaga parang lahat ng lasa, nanamnamin ko muna. Para I get a
glimpse of everything.
Oo.
I know what it's like.
Yeah, I'm gonna soak all of this up before I start to visualize it. Pero sa concept kasi hindi ko muna maramdaman pa yun. Parang, it's like, it's even, remember again that scene, that dinner scene, hindi tayo sure. It's even way less than that. Kasi parang, okay, I think I got it, but I'm sure I don't.
So even then, you were really still super searching also during that
Pag-concept.
time.
Pero medyo may ano tayo nun. Medyo meron na yata tayong parang 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or a week and a half, gano'n. A week and then some other parts, gano'n. Nabasa ko na yan. script helps sa akin. That's a very big leap from concept to script.
Okay.
Ang laking bagay sa akin. Even if I've read the characterization. Mas maano talaga. Kapag nasa script na, so this character speaks to this character this way. Pero kapag dating yung character na tong isa, iba siya. So ganito siyang klaseng tao. And it really helps me as a person because I'm genuinely interested in people.
Yeah.
If you see me on set, I will talk to anyone because I feel like anyone can give me some sort of insight.
Energy.
Oo, may energy.
Yeah.
Tsaka may insight kapag kausapin ko, sheesh, I thought I was funny, but dang, you're funny. Or sabihin ko, parang I thought I understood everything, and then you say something that parang
Catches you off guard.
nonchalant lang yung pagkakasabi nga lang, parang, hey, may napipick up ako dun sa sinasabi mo. Baka nga a little deeper than how you meant it to be, pero it resonates with me, so it sticks with me. So, ganun din ako sa characters. Ganun siyang klase. May kilala akong ganito. Tapos nung sinabi sa akin to, sa these little notes na nilalagay ko. Sa my phone, ganyan, or just mental notes. Na okay, ganito siya, para siyang siya ganyan. Pero, I remember there was a writer before. I'm not so sure if it was Tita Gina Tagasa ba, as a writer. She would have like a filing cabinet of characters. I don't know if these are real characters, pero filing cabinet. Tapos minsan pagbubuo raw yun. Kuha siya ng file ng isa, tapos kuha siya ng file, tapos combine yun into one character.
So she's basically creating a world and a file of this character's life.
Yeah.
Pero parang hindi
modular yung mga characters niya.
Pero hindi kailangan ito yung character na to. Pero kukuha ako ng isa pang character, tapos i-combine ko sila into one character.
Gotcha.
So, hindi naman nauulit yung character na yun because there's so many permutations to one person, the way they are in reality. So, gano'n rin ako siguro, may ganito siya, pero ganito. Kaya minsan magtatanong ako, kontrabida tong sige na, tapos kontrabida to. They'll be redundant. What makes them different from each other? Minsan tatanong ko yun sa writer. Para lang, we're on the same page what they think of this character.
Because essentially, most of the characters in Royal Blood, parang kontrabida na rin.
Oo.
It's just that we're all on different levels, all on different...
Grayness.
Yeah. And I actually really enjoyed that factor. I mean, it's evil. Like, evil talaga yung characters in Royal Blood. And it was such a
refreshing... Masarap laruin kasi hindi ka pa nagaganon.
Yes, and sabi ko nga kina Miss Reg, RPM, sabi ko, I am so happy that we got to have a colorful character and a colorful show na pwede nating lagyan ng layers, pwede nating lagyan ng different goals and aspirations, but also different, I guess, driving factors for them.
I'm glad nga how you all guys embraced it.
Yeah.
Kasi lahat kayo, hindi naman kami nag-cast ng mga, yung mga Max Alvarado, yung mga...
Oh my God,
yung mga kontrabida.
Okay.
Lahat kayo nagbibida-bida.
So,
goody-goody kayo.
Yes.
Tapos you all just embraced that. I think my aptitude for learning is very low. I think I'm very slow. I'm very slow at learning something. Pero one thing about me is I'm committed. So I will learn this. And even if I don't look like I'm taking my time, even if I'm not taking my time, I will look like I'm taking my time because I am slow. Pero once I get it, kuha ko na yan. So it took me a while to get the hang of it. It took me a while na parang, kasi nung nakuha ko na yung magandang composition nun sa photography, nakita ko yung mga lower batches. Ang galing nila mag-camera movement. Sabi ko, solid na ako sa comp. Gets ko niyan. Biglang pinagalaw niyo yung camera. Shit, sabi ko, kulelat na naman ako. Sa mga mas bata sa akin, kailangan ko na naman maghabol. I always feel like, I need to, siguro doon ako nagkaroon ng parang realization. Pero of course, it's never really conscious, di ba? Pero it develops a habit in you na parang, you have to keep moving. you have to keep getting better because everyone is just
Yeah.
getting better. May iwanan ka kahit malaki lamang mo. That's what I say. That's why it's a curse for actors na yung baguang actors na they're very raw.
Yeah.
Pero sa raw na lang, ang galing kaagad nila. Because they feel like it comes so easy. Kahit sa basket. Kunwari, street baller ka. Ang galing mo eh.
And magaling mag-basket.
Yan, mukha naman. Kita mo yung baller yan. Pero, pag naturally magaling ka, hindi ka na maglalagay ng time sa practice. Baka hindi ka na siguro makinig masyado dun sa coach.
Story of his life.
Kasi feeling mo, okay ka na eh.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it's a curse. If you're good at something right away, it becomes a curse. So sa akin, I think it was a blessing na parang ang bagal mo. So kaya ako ganun. Kaya ako I believe in hard work because nothing came easy for me.
Yeah.
So pero when I got it. So don't let that thing feel like you're not creative. You're probably good at something. You know what I'm good at? I think. Pangasure. I think I'm good with human behavior. I think when I talk to someone, parang I think I've got this. I wouldn't even say that I've got this person figured out. Pero parang feeling ko, ito yung bagay dito sa tao na to. Ito yung makakabuti dito sa tao na to. This is what I think I should say to this person. And I think this person is coming from this point of view. Now, as a storyteller, it helps me because there are like so many characters.
Yeah.
So nakikita ko na, this is that kind of person. So that ang bagay sa person na to, yung kinakausap na niya, para ma-convince siya rito. This is what I did for Tasha and Napoy. Sabi ko parang, Tasha, wag kang forceful kay Napoy. Kasi si Napoy, si Napoy kasi, medyo meron siyang, may messianic complex si Napoy. And si Napoy is also gentle. If you force something on a gentle person, he's just, tapos, nagmamahalan kayo, gentle person, tapos forceful person. While you're being forceful, tapos gusto mong makipaghiwalay sa kanya, hindi ka bibitawan ni gentle person. Because si gentle messianic person feels like he still needs you.
Yeah.
You still need him.
Yeah.
Pero kapag yung gentle ka, tapos sinabi mo kay Nato, hindi ko na kaya, naawa na ako sa sarili ko. Si gentle person na atras. Bibitaw na siya. When you're trying to break up with gentle person. Kasi si gentle person, kasi pag gano'n ka, hindi, kailangan mo, nakikita ko eh.
Yeah.
Pero kapag yung nag-gentle ka na, tapos parang naawa, nagpapaawa ka na. So sa akin, nakatulong yun. So I don't think you always have to be a creative person visually. There are other people on the set who could do that for you. You can equip yourself with a good director of photography. Because there's also such a thing as an actor's director. Meron rin naman a cinematographer's director who's just galing naman sa visuals. Pero couldn't for the life of him tell a story. Because
Sa focus sa visuals.
masyado siyang focus sa visuals to a point that you're distracting. You're already distracting your audience. Pag sinabi nga ako na, nako-conscious ako pag sinasabi nilang, galing ni Direk. Why did I draw attention to myself? When I do that, pag narinig ko yung comment na yun, I feel like, ooh, damn, I wasn't doing my job. Because it wasn't about showing off how good I was as a director. It was about telling a story.
Yeah.
But if you step away and you felt like, oh, that was good, and then the following day you still think about the show, then I think I and all of us did a great job because we were able to tell the story without drawing attention to ourselves, because that was not the point.
Yeah.
In drawing attention to yourself.
Can I just say na instead of saying that, thank you for leading the team. Thank you for being one of the leaders. Because it helps. It really helps na I know that you have a lot of things on your mind when we're on the set and when we're doing our scenes, even off scenes. But thank you for being one of the leaders because it's great to have that captain while we are doing such a heavy
Okay, what's your concept of leadership?
Somebody that can set an example.
Okay.
For me, that is a leader.
Yeah.
Of course, in terms of roles, there are different leaders. You have your PM, you have the bosses of GMA. They are leaders because of their roles also.
Okay.
But in terms of leading a production, leading the actors, and setting an example.
Being on the field.
Yeah, setting an example for work ethic, for just who you are as a person, vibes.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
I've always questioned myself as a leader because I feel like I'm a better follower than I am a leader.
I also have that vibe with myself.
Diba? Pero now that you mentioned it, baka yung good example. That I think that's the only leadership I know. It's like leadership like that. It takes more. It's more time consuming though.
Yeah.
It's more time consuming to lead by example
Mhm.
because may step eh.
Yes.
May mga extra
Yun na
steps
yung
to get
human
it.
ano mo.
Pero at least kasi I have no choice eh. Ginawa akong director eh. Yun yung nakuha akong job eh. Hindi ko naman pinangarap to eh. Pero thank you kay Veronique De Rosario siya nagbigay sa akin ng break. Because she asked me. Yun na Veronique De Rosario. Of Viva.
Yeah, I've never met her, but I've heard her many stories of her.
She asked me once, sabi niya, ano gusto mong maging? Kasi I was doing, I think, sa TGIS kasi I was doing associate director work, but I was also lighting some scenes if it's unang pasok ng artista, ganyan, parang okay, kailangan gwapo tong suwan,
Maganda,
may bondik,
maganda.
mukha mo bondok,
Yeah.
ganyan, may bondok, pumasok siya, kailangan nilawan ko to. Tapos, I was also editing, I was also scoring, excuse me. Then she asked me, ano ba gusto mo maging? I'm like, and this is already my honest answer. Gusto ko lang mga masaya. Gusto ko lang trabaho, tapos gusto ko lang mas masaya. Hindi yun talaga boss eh, sabi ko. Gusto lang masaya, tapos hindi kasi kami hindi kami yung mayaman na pamilya, ganun. Okay lang, ganun yung, pianista lang nanay ko, ganun. Tapos sabi, the following week, sabi, bigyan mo nga ng script, sulatan niyo ng script si Dominic. Tapos, para subukan natin mag-direct. Ayun.
Diretso na from there.
Nakasense.
Nice. I did not. I've never heard that story. I've heard many stories from you, Direk. That was the first time I heard that one. I like that. I like the origin story. I like the origin story.
Origin story.
The origin story. Ay, mas superhero ako. So to hear
Boss,
that
thank you. Boss VR, thank you.
To hear that origin story. Boss VR, we got Direk on because of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good move. Good move.
Oh, I'm curious, Direk. Going back to camera work and I guess parang the shots that you choose. I know that for your shows, you have different, I guess, specialty shots that you do. My Husband's Lover, you had your close-ups on the hands.
And the feet.
And-
Walking, right? Was that my husband's?
Ganun, mga
Yeah.
daliring ganun.
Or yung parang nuances with the hands. And even for Royal Blood, you had different angles that you wanted to work with, and
And the lighting was
and the
different.
lighting was different. Parang some were like nakatagilid
And
na
there was
shots.
And then the super close-up 35s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specifically,
When you were trying to convey, especially that sense of guilt or parang nagdadalawang isip.
Yeah, but
I was like,
just-
okay, it's a close-up 35. Okay, gotcha.
just so that we could break it down, what were your specialty shots here in Royal Blood? And what emotions do you want to convey from that?
What's the motivation? Okay, standard, you probably know this because if you're watching this, you're probably, some of you siguro are into filmmaking. There's a difference between shooting it from that lens, from that camera na naka-zoom in, using a telephoto or a zoomable telephoto, as opposed to making it like a 35 millimeter, which is slightly wider than your normal vision, which is mga around 50. Nagagawin mo siyang mga 35 at ilalapit sa iyo.
Yes.
There's a kind of intimacy to it. Parang, kapag nilapit ka now, I'm listening to what you're thinking. This is how you feel about it. There's also a difference when I shoot you, nakikita ko from here, nakikita yung balikat, at saka ito, nakikita ako, it's not a clean one.
Yes.
It's an over-the-shoulder shot. Kapag over-the-shoulder shot yan, ay, nagturo ako. Boring ba to? Anyway,
Oh, no.
I
pag
love it.
nakasuggest yung shoulder and you're looking at me, you're talking to me, ang sinasabi sa sa audience, nakikinig ako sa'yo.
Yes.
Okay? We're relating to each other. What you're saying, you're trying to tell me. And what I'm saying, you're listening to. Pero pag tinanggal mo na to, tapos nilapit ko yung camera dito, nandun na ako sa point na, ano yung sinasabi ko? How are you processing it? Yung sinasabi ko.
Yes.
Tapos kapag nakasulo ka nga na ganyan kalapit, mas may subtext na yung sinasabi mo ngayon. That's why I needed to come in closer to you this way.
At
not by
all up in our space talaga.
all up in your space.
Because I feel like that's how you get, like you said, so intimate with the character.
Yeah, because in real life, ganun rin naman. Kasi kapag may sinabi ka dun sa tao na, Megan, I need to tell you something.
Yeah, it's like that.
It's more like when you're telling the audience na parang, ay makinig ka. Mahalaga itong sasabihin ko. Sa atin lang to. So ganito kalapit, or I want you to listen what I'm going to say, and I want you to absorb rin the subtexts of what I'm saying.
I'm not just saying words, but there's a whole lot of meaning behind it.
That's why
Notice it.
Oo, 'di ba? That's why mas marami akong ginamit na naka 35 millimeter na up close. Kasi lahat kayo meron kayong mga ibang motives. Maraming subtext yung mga iniisip ninyo. That's why the camera comes in closer.
I love it pag confrontation, like when Sarge is asking each of us, sino ba yung killer? And we all have like different emotions. Sometimes feeling ko, banlag.
It's not
Banlag na ba ako dito?
it's not just distortion per se.
Yeah.
It's really trying to replicate yung feeling na parang someone's coming.
Malapit talaga.
Andito, parang
Yeah.
ganito kalapit. Babasahin ko
Yeah.
yung mukha mo. Binabasa ko, ito yung audience ha, binabasa ko yung mukha mo. Tignan ko pag ganito kalapit. Magbe-break ka ba?
Yeah.
Malalaman
It's
ko
like
ba
you're
yung
taunting
katotoo? As opposed to yung tumayo ka ng malayo, tapos tinatanong mo lang na gano'n. Tapos dahil matalas naman yung mata mo, nakikita mo, mas madali, siguro kung guilty ako, tayo magkalayo, tapos magtitigan tayo. Mas kakayanin kong i-fake na innocent
Rather than close.
rather than ganito ka, nagkakaamoy na kayo ng hininga. So that's what you're trying to replicate. And it becomes more evident sa Royal Blood because lahat may ulterior motive. So lahat, bibigyan mo ng ganun kalapit na camera. Yun, matip.
Kasi yung pagka-teacher mo ng Direk, pero I like the lesson.
Thank you, Direk.
I like that lesson.
Naiintindihan mo ba?
No, I loved it.
Did it make sense?
Yeah, no, I
Yes.
loved it. Especially yung insight, yung, syempre, technically, the 35mm closer is just,
Yeah.
there is distortion, diba? That's physically what you see, it's different. Pero when you turned it around and said, it's also different in terms of what you're conveying because it's like you're going closer to the person. And being able to translate that into a situation, it
Yeah.
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Even for us.
and that's,
when
as an
we're
actor,
doing
sorry, parang, that's amazing. I never went to school for it, so to
Yeah.
hear it in a more teacher-like
Pero pag
setting.
manood ka, mararamdaman mo nga parang, oo nga no, may kaibahan.
Yeah.
May kaibahan yung naka-zoom in. Again, mas time-consuming yung ilalapit mo that it's a separate insert as opposed to like na-zoomed in. But if you need it, then you shoot it because may sacrifice it. So again, nandun, pag nagdidirect ka, parang naisip mo, magdadagdag ba ako nung 3 minutes na mag-change lens ako na ilalapit ko tapos may konting light adjustment, 3 to 5 minutes because it adds up.
Yes.
Kung 4 kayo sa scene na yon, na hindi lang naman, madalas mga 5, ganyan. It adds 15 minutes to that sequence alone. Tapos nun, ilang sequence, tapos kung lahat ng ganun dadagdagan ko, that eats up another like almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever thought about, have you ever done a workshop for actors in terms of talking about that? Because, I don't know, from a personal perspective, and I have friends and colleagues and actors who would also find this fascinating. And I think it just adds to, their...
Hindi kasi ako actors director eh. Hindi ako actors director kasi hindi ako aral doon. So, baka there are a lot of technical things that I'll probably miss out on. So, ang magagaling dyan, mga actors, directors sila, Direk Gina Alahar, ganyan. Mga ano yun mga batikan yan ng iba't ibang schools of acting techniques. Sila, Direk Loris, talagang, alam mo, nakatulong nga pala sa akin yun. Again, I digress. Pero nakatulong sa akin yun when I was an editor. Nakatulong sa akin yun, napapanood ko lahat ng lahat ng directing styles ng iba't ibang director. So, sheesh. Parang, okay, pag si Direk Gil Tejada, he likes the dollying from one room to another nang naka-wide kapag na ganun siya. What does that do to me? Pag nanonood ako,
Sa'yo naman yan.
okay, so ganun.
Parang may sarili
So,
kang workshop.
Oo, so pero kailangan nandun ka rin na parang
Of course.
estudyante ako.
Yeah.
Every time. And up to now, ganun naman talaga ugali ko. Estudyante ako. Kahit mas matanda ka sa akin, kahit mas bata ka sa akin, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna learn something from you. You don't even have to be a director. I sit down with you, I'm going to talk to you. I know I'm gonna learn something from you na magagamit ko sa buhay ko tapos mapagkakakitaan ko. Magkataon.
Which I must say, Direk, also applies to you. I mean, you say, oh, I'm not an actor's director, but you don't have to be an actor's director or consider yourself one to. Just you saying it in your words and you being, you know, someone who's helmed and captained so many shows for myself, Bones, and colleagues, to hear that just your opinion and the way that you elaborate on these devices and mechanisms that we use to create our art, I find that so valuable. Sa totoo lang.
I thank you. Although dati talaga meron ako insecurity doon because I didn't know the words. I didn't know
How to put it into words.
how to put it into words or baka may mga technical terms na ginagamit.
So I'm sure like you're thinking about how you want something to be a certain way, but
Right.
to verbalize it is a
Kaya-
whole different thing.
Kaya di ba pag nag-direct ako sa inyo, I don't use technical jargon when it comes to your acting.
Yeah.
I talk to you in terms of analogy or a person we know or basta yung gano'n mas hindi siya galing
Parang
sa
everyday
libro.
talk lang,
Kasi
yeah.
yun lang yung alam ko.
But honestly, I love that.
Sorry, Direk, kasi
I love
all the
that.
more you hit it on the head.
Because it's so easy
All
to
the
understand.
more you reach out to a certain audience. You yourself said you weren't good in school, supposedly. I think that the way that you explain and elaborate and share your stories resonates with a cohort of artists, actors, actresses who may not appreciate the technical explanation anyway. So, and I think there's so, I would repeat, I mean, I'm just saying there's just so much value in that. I just wanted to let you know that. Because I appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
I
I
appreciate it
really
also.
see and feel the value. And to be honest with you, I mean, si Sandro na kapag sabi ko,
Napaisip tuloy.
it's nice. It's wonderful. It's so valuable and I just really wanted to share that with you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Saya.
At least may nagagets kayo.
Oo naman. Okay, so wait. I guess we've taken so much of your time. I'm enjoying.
I'm
really enjoying.
Me too.
Okay, it's
We do have our 5 questions though for Direk.
okay. So before we get to five questions, I have one last question.
Okay.
Okay, just curious kasi siyempre, ang dami ng project ni Direk. Zooming out, Royal Blood, we've shared already and I've told you, Direk, in different times how much I appreciate and why I appreciate the project that we've had. But for you, now that everything is said and done, is there any reason or is there any compelling idea or moment that comes to mind when you think of Royal Blood and how it stands out from all the previous projects that you've done? Like, is there anything that you feel?
Sa akin, it made me hopeful. Because this was probably the first project I had na naging viral, na super viral. Now, on the surface, parang okay, viral. But no, it gives me hope. Kasi parang, oh, this was a TV show na pinapanood nila on social media.
Yeah.
So there's a way to bridge it.
Mm-hmm.
So the audience nag-cross over. So these are obviously people who like their social media, who like watching on devices, and yet they still watch the show, a TV show. So that made me hopeful. And ayun, kasi wala pa yata akong show na gano'n. And before kasi parang minsan kasi magte-trend and na nakita ko na hindi siya sukatan yung nagte-trend. Pero yung nagva-viral na pinag-uusapan. This is probably the first one.
Yeah.
And that's a direct correlation to attention. The virality is, I can say, coming from social media, we're into analytics, that virality is a direct correlation to attention of people with the content that they're watching.
Yes. Tapos gusto ko nga pala that thanks to RJ, and without discrediting naman what Widow's Web has done, I think we created a solid new genre na it could probably be the next kabitserye. Nagkaroon ngayon ng panglasa yung tao sa
Murder mystery.
Yeah.
parang, yeah, we could do this.
Actually, I'm seeing more concepts coming up.
Okay, ang dami kong mga
Awesome.
follow-up na tanong.
Sige lang.
Teka lang, Direk. Okay, sige. Okay, may,
Go lang.
but ito yung unahin ko. Okay, well, we know na parang, okay, so, I think Dirty Linen was able to cut down to like a 12 episode season. So what they did, parang 1 hour episodes, 12 episodes, 1 hour episodes and then 12 in a season. Is there any way that we can do that and cut down? I'm just curious, like, nagulat lang ako na nagawa nila yun. I didn't watch it, but is there a way for us to cut down from 70 episodes to like an 12 episode series?
Okay.
Does that work?
We're doing mga 24 minutes, I think, a day. So 1 week would be about, about 2
2.5
hours.
Well, yeah, 120, 2 hours, 120 minutes.
Magagawa siguro natin sa first, baka hindi 12.
Mga 20 episodes.
I only say that because I'm so
Maybe.
curious how our show would look in that format.
Yeah.
Would it even be editable in that format na parang longer episode type?
Pwede naman kasi nakakagawa tayo ng mga ano, 'di ba? Parang yung mga before yung weekends na catch-up viewing.
Yes.
Na
Yes.
hindi naman lahat ng sequences
Yeah.
nandun.
And the only reason I say this is because like I think now with the advent of social media and the many different ways of viewing content, yun nga, yung for TV natin, pinapanood na sa TikTok. So I think like just like this podcast also,
Yeah.
being able to reformat your content for different audiences also just kind of like reaches more people. And I
Yeah.
think that there are
No,
some
and-
people na parang they're just more drawn to like, ay wow, so siya 12 episodes lang na 1 hour. When in essence naman, di ba? It's pretty much the same thing, just repackaged and
Yeah.
repurposed,
Yeah.
for different audiences.
Yeah, pwede. Kasi while we get a lot of like, I'm sure you get like a clamor for, bakit ang bakit tinapos na kaagad?
Yeah.
Extend pa, sana may second season. There are also people who just like it short, right?
Yeah.
So,
I like it. So I mean,
I like it short.
we did a great job with what we have.
Yeah.
We move on. Like this
Yeah.
is like
I love it for what it
we
is.
hang our hats on this and we're
Yeah.
like
We
proud
ended,
of this.
ended on a
Oh.
high note.
Mhm.
We ended on a high note.
Tsaka, masaya sila eh, di ba? Parang, gusto ko yung medyo bitin eh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kasi
me
yung
too.
sawa, di
Yes.
ba?
Yes. Agree.
So,
Okay, well, another one. Okay, last one I have na. Quick question lang. When it comes to artists, do you believe in star quality? That parang intangible trait of having an artist having star quality.
project siguro probably would need, I'd be conscious of that because of the TV audience.
Okay.
Pero not all the time. Kunwari the next one I'm doing, without really revealing much. It starts out kasi with yung, as most of our shows start out, as kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wala kang star doon. Wala silang papanoorin. Pero, conscious ako na, kailangan, siguro yung nanay should be a star.
Mhm.
Mm.
Medyo may laki, may bigat. Para meron na kaagad built-in na viewership.
Yeah.
Or
Parang
at least,
iaabangan.
or at least it lends a bit of gravity.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yung parang ganun. Parang may size.
Mhm.
That's why we still get yung mga veterans na even more expensive because meron silang
May value silang parang binibigay.
may value silang binibigay. And again, part of it is that parang kung ginawa ko lang lahat yun ng artista, not to take anything away from YouTube, pero it's something that I would be able to watch on
Yeah.
YouTube or something I would be able to watch in an indie. And we want to be bigger than that because kung indie yung gagawin natin, then we can do that cheaper and then they can watch that on a different platform.
Yeah.
So we want to set ourselves apart from
Yeah.
the other platform.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Thanks for that. But what I was actually touching on was like, I was asking that because I find, and I know Bones feels the same way, that our young actors and actresses in Royal Blood, it's James,
Princess.
Eden, and Princess. For us, we're like, wow, this is cool. Like the work ethic that they
Yeah.
bring. I mean, syempre, still definitely very young, a lot of
Fresh.
rawness, and fresh.
A lot to learn.
Pero kami, we see so much potential in
Yeah.
them. I don't know if it's just us, ah.
No, but could you imagine? Nung ganun ba edad yung ganun kayo magaling?
Hindi!
No!
No way! Not even
No!
close with... Not just that.
Not
Not
the
even the
raw-
fingernail
Not
good
even
as
the
them.
raw talent, but the work ethic. And that's what I was talking about star quality. Specifically for me, the star quality, I see it in Princess.
Yeah.
Ako, I don't know why, and I don't usually feel this way about... But when I see her, I'm like,
Pinag-usapan rin namin ni Ding Dong
meron
yun.
to, ha?
Meron siyang something.
okay, so that's... Okay, so at
Oh,
least it's
may
not
dinag-
just us.
May dinadagdag siya, yung ningning.
Yes.
Meron siyang ningning.
Okay, that's what I was... So, even
can I
though it's
just
not
note-
fully developed, okay, go.
My note there is, in the scene last night, na tumatakbo siya nakaitim, and then when she takes off the
May
hood,
kilabot.
sabi ko, bida to? Bida vibes.
So meron talaga, Direk.
Meron
It's
siya
not just
talaga.
us. We're not hallucinating or anything.
Kasi nag-usap rin kami ni Dong dyan eh. Sabi namin, meron to, no? Tapos meron pinoint out si Dong that I didn't even notice, but he was right. Direk, kahit yung timbre ng boses niya, pambida.
Oh my God!
That's exactly what he said.
That's what I told Lian kanina. I told her, because we were talking about, sorry, share ko lang, Direk.
Yeah.
So, when we were getting into our characters, me, Bones, and Lian were modulating and trying to hit a lower register.
Yeah.
Because we just felt na yun yung bagay sa character. And then there were times when medyo nawawala in the middle. Wala, naturally lang. So you just have to kind of remind yourself and just reset. And I told them, I was sharing that there are some people who are just naturally gifted in terms of their voice.
Their voice.
That there's so much nuance and emotion that comes out when
Yeah.
their voice is registered on TV.
That's
And
Princess.
it's Princess. I'm like, when I heard her on her in some of her scenes, especially watching the last few episodes, the last few weeks, I was like, oh, man, that sounds good.
So good.
This person has
Tsaka
something.
may dinadagdag siya eh. I don't know if she does this consciously. Pero pag yun, meron siyang ningning.
Yeah.
And you know what? Dati hindi ko naiintindihan yun. Until once, meron kami kasing negosyo dati. My partner was Monique Villonco, who was a good friend. Anak ni Armida. Friend ng mom. So we had a business. Tapos we had other tapes inside our office. It was a production house. An editing. And in the editing bay, we had tapes na hindi kami nag-produce. Produce na ni Armida. So doon muna nilagay siya. Tapos sabi niya, Dominic, meron tayo. Uy, hold on.
Wait, holding hands?
Direk,
Holding
grabe
hands?
naman.
Nasibyan.
Bakit teleserye yun? Insert, please. Insert.
Tight shot daw.
Sabi ko, biglang gumanon si Direk. Uy, may spark.
Kinilig ako. So nung sabi niya, check mo nga na naman ng mga tapes na yun, ng mga Umatic tapes. So I played it back. And then I saw this old footage of this probably 10-year-old girl, 11, 12 at most. Kumakanta siya, aawitan kita nun. Sabi ko, may ningning yung bata. Just an old footage. Nakita ko yung ningning. Bago ko, sabi ko, oh, star itong bata. Bata pa lang
Yeah.
kumakanta. Kita mo talaga,
May star quality.
may star quality, may ningning ka agad. And it took me about maybe 5-10 seconds. Na baka nga yung dulo na ng song.
Yeah.
To realize it was Sharon Cuneta.
Wow.
Kid Sharon Cuneta. So, pag nakakita ka naman, yung pala yung ningning, yung pala. So, para nakikita kay Princess yun. So, sana.
Sana ma-push niya pa yun.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope
And I
that
hope she gets pushed. And
opportunity meets that talent.
Yes.
Because you need that. You need stars to align to a certain extent.
Oh, yes.
You need that opportunity to meet that.
Opportunity, talent, and the willingness.
Of
But opportunity,
course.
talent, I totally get you.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Do you have anything else, or are we gonna get to
No,
our...
I am excited. We should ask our intense questions to Direk.
Yeah, you open it up.
Alright, this is dahil wala ng shots. 5 questions na lang for Direk Dong.
Go!
Okay, go.
Okay,
Di ko alam kung...
our first, I haven't been through these questions, but the first question is, sinong pinaka-favorite mong dinidirect ang eksena sa Royal Blood?
Wow. Baka si Shena.
Oh.
Kasi si Shena, iba sumagot eh.
Si Lizzie.
Si Lizzie, meron siyang sabihin ko muna kung anong klaseng tao
Okay.
to si Lizzie. Nanggaling si Dong sa Japan, tapos binigyan niya ng pasalubong si Lizzie. Tapos nakita ko, kakagaling ko lang rin nun sa Europe, mga 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
Sabi ko, uy, Lizzie, I'm so sorry. Si Direk umalis rin, pero walang pasalubong para sa'yo. Sabi ni Shena. It's okay, Direk. You can do better next time. Dinidirect ko naman siya. Sabi ko sa kanya, I forgot, pero I'll make it up.
Yeah,
I'll make up yung what I said.
Yeah.
Pero I won't make up what she answered. Sabi ko. Okay, Lizzie, ganito Pag nakita mo yung tita mo, takot na takot ka dito sa tita mo. Kasi alam mo, nakikita mo, hindi siya nice person yung tita mo. So kapag nakita mo, hindi mo sure. So natatakot ka sa kanya, nakatingin ka lang sa kanya gano'n. Nagigets mo kasi pag nakikita mo sa ibang tao,
Yeah.
hindi siya mabait eh. Right? Okay? Makes sense.
Grabing answers
Yung
niya.
answer niya, make sense.
Kakaiba.
Oo.
Kakaiba.
So, ayun, naaliw ko yung direct yun. Kasi parang, biglang ako nagdududa, tama ba yung direction ko dito sa bata? Kasi parang, or parang nabobobohan ba siya sa mga...
Iba din ang thought process din
Pang-adult
kasi.
nating algo niya sa TikTok,
Yes. Yes. Okay, I love that. Sienna Stevens, you are a different kind of breed.
Yes, the young. Megan Young is old Lizzie.
That's
Tama,
true.
dahil mo-
That is true. Pati sa mga TikTok ay okay, ikaw na po.
I also did not review these questions, so I will take some of these questions. I'm also
Okay.
curious. So, Direk is, I don't know if anybody would describe you this way, pero ladies man.
Wow, am I?
Appreciate the ladies. Not appreciate the ladies. You
Appreciate,
the ladies,
appreciate.
Of course. You appreciate beauty, and I also feel the same way. So, who is your first showbiz crush? Or when we think about crush and you directing, who comes to mind?
Jelly de Belen.
Did
Sinabi
you
ko
work?
talaga.
Did you work with her? Was that because of a project that you did and you directed her?
It was parang a guesting. First time I worked with her. So, and she knew, man.
She knew you had a crush on her?
Yeah, because the staff told her. Wala pa akong pera nun. Tapos meron akong prized possession diesel na hoodie. Ina-arbor.
Binigay mo ba?
Hindi. Wala. Ba't ba kayo
Binigay mo dun eh.
Cross lang kita. Ano ko nga? Huwag ka nga dyan.
Hindi naman kita asawa.
Oo. Hindi mo naman ako type. Di ba? Pinasasakay mo lang ako. Pero sa totoo lang rin kasi, and baka hindi kayo naniniwala dito. When I'm on set, ang hinahanap ko talaga sa inyo kapintasan.
Talaga?
Oo. Kasi para alam ko ano iiwasan ko sa inyo.
Okay. Yes.
So, wala sa inyong perfect. So, pag nakakatrabaho ko, nabubura yun.
Yeah.
I have an appreciation for your beauty. Pero nabubura na kaagad lahat. Yung parang, okay, hindi ko na type to. Kasi nakikita ko na lahat
Or
ng
different
imperfections.
angles, what to avoid.
Right. And then becomes just work.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
work.
I
It's
get
just work. And then kailangan sasabihin ko yun sa lahat ng camera operator, ng lighting.
Yes.
Ganito. This is how we light
Yeah.
her face. Ganito dapat yung pag-ilaw natin kimik. Ganito dapat yung ganito. Then it just becomes work.
It feels so good though. Like I remember in our Marimar taping on how Kuya Roman would take care of me with my lighting kasi alam niyang puyat ako or alam niyang parang there was
Pati yung kulay ng balat mo nun.
kasi my skin was a bit darker because I was out in the sun more. So he would really cater to that and it made me feel good and appreciated.
It makes you feel more confident in
Yes.
front of the
Yes,
of the
it
camera.
does.
Kasi,
It does. And that's also why I really had the courage to do our scenes towards the latter part of Royal Blood without makeup.
wala
I
kang
had no
makeup.
makeup at all.
Zero?
Practically.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear mascara, parang just concealer
Tsaka
lang.
kita mo, not only you, pati kay Rian,
Yes.
when she was struggling, parang no effort kami na hindi natin buburahin yung eye bags.
Yeah.
Kapag yung ganun. At talaga nagkaka-eye bags siya because she's crying all day.
Yes.
Pero parang hindi, huwag na alagaan. Kasi talaga she's going through something. It's gotta look like that.
Kailangan
That's why.
ipakita yun. So,
Okay, I like that. That's interesting. Okay, here. I'm going to tweak this question again. So, Direk, over your history of projects that you've made, is there one that stands out na sobrang challenging?
Sobrang challenging, Marimar.
oh yeah.
That
We have-
one.
we
That's
have-
Marimar was physically challenging.
Yes.
At saka maraming malas. Yung namalas sa
Grabe
ulan,
naman.
lumubog yung camera, lumubog yung bangka.
Laging
and then-
umuulan.
So, by
outdoor
far,
tayo.
Marimar.
Oo, may
Yeah.
namatay yung anak ni Sunny Boy, yung
Mm.
ating ano.
Meron ba yung
Lot of
opposite nun?
challenges.
It was a great project, and parang, ang chill nitong project na to. Aside from maybe a small family, or was small family even considered that? Because for me, I love Direk. I love small family.
Hindi pwede yun kasi ibang genre.
Okay, sige, tanggalin natin.
Kailangan teleserye. Nagkaroon kasi ng kaibahan after nagsimula yung Mulawin eh. Yung Mulawin biglang iba na yung game. Before Mulawin, I did one teleserye before Mulawin. It was called Twin Hearts with
Yes, I remember.
The Boy.
Alam niya.
Hindi Twin Hearts, may Twin Hearts.
Yeah.
This is The Boy, si Ding Dong, and si Pops Fernandez. Daling gawin nun. Dali lang nun.
breeze.
Serye.
Oo. Well, kasi iba rin yung demands. Pero kapag yung simula nung quality na hinahanap mo from Mulawin onwards, baka Hearts on Ice. Yung previous to this.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Hearts on Ice. Even though may challenge.
Even though,
yun.
skating rink and midnight graveyard shift kayo?
Oo. Ewan ko. Parang dumali at some point.
Swabe lang for you.
Swabe lang.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's nice.
For this one, sinong actor or actress ang hindi mo na gustong maka-work in the future?
Alam naman natin yung mga yarn.
Hindi ko gusto maka-work in the future.
You can answer it, but you also don't. You can make it.
You can pass kasi definitely dapat ito kasi may shot.
May shot dapat eh. At may
Tapos kung hindi mo
consequence.
sasagutin, iinumin mo yung shot. But we wanted to respect your fasting. So. Naman, Direk. Support
Alam
kami
namin
dyan.
fasting ka, so we didn't put out like the sugary
So kung
drink.
magpapass ka, Direk, alam na namin.
Yeah.
Isha-shoot mo yung shot.
Kunwari na.
At alam ko na naman yung sagot dito eh. So,
Talaga?
well, I know some. No, I know some. I may not know the direct
Meron ako
answer.
nun, tapos nakatrabaho ko ulit, tapos made me change my mind, si Joko Diaz.
Okay.
There was a time. Pero she made me change my mind. Pero kung may sasabihin ako ngayon, papalabas ba to? Pero wala na rin siya. Si John Regala. Pero hindi ko na-explain.
Okay. Alright. That's okay.
You had your own experiences, and they're different from everyone else naman. So,
Well, it's the same experience as Rian.
gotcha.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But anyways, with that, I guess I just want to end with, I guess on a happy note na rin. Direk, we asked this to Ding Dong and Rian. What does your happiest version look like?
My happiest version?
Yes.
Like visually?
No, just like, what does...
What's the happiest version of
you?
Direk Dom right now? What would put you in your happiest place?
Ah!
What situation?
Cheese and drama. Ang drama.
If you want it to be drama.
If you
Pero
want it to be drama.
since nasabi mo na yan, we're expecting something a bit dramatic.
It's just my mom.
Oh, okay.
Ayun nila. I just miss my mom. I just want to be... We don't even have to play the piano and the violin together. I just want to be with her.
Yeah.
Kasi I want to take her on more trips. I want to take her on more trips.
You always mentioned that you guys would travel a lot.
Yeah, because siya yung gusto mag-travel even if she was having a hard time traveling. Kasi nagkaroon akong pera to para mag-travel. Medyo late na. So, hindi ko, sana nahabol ko na mas maaga.
Yeah.
Pero kasi nagkapera ako ng una kong ginawa, I got her a big, like a grand piano kasi that was always her dream. And then I didn't realize, gusto pala niya mag-travel. I was a little too late. Pero nakarami naman siya.
Yeah.
But I want to do that sana.
Okay. I love that. Thank you, Direk.
With that, thank you so much for lending us your time.
Dude, thank you
Thank
guys.
Si Soba din. Thank you.
Okay, magka-thank you, Soba. Oh, good girl, Soba.
Good girl.
We're friends now. We're friends.
Gentle lady.
Good
We're
girl.
friends.
And with that, that ends our podcast with Direk Dom Zapata. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Let's go,
Let's go!
Let's go eat.